January 9th, 2024. Live streaming from a distant galaxy. This is the world's most controversial podcast, the Doomsy McDoomscroller Show, a philosophical science fiction series featuring realistic futurology and refreshingly heretical commentary on the news. Today, Doomsy be kicking back on some strange planet that's not in the Milky Way. And, well, as you know, somehow I still have Wi-Fi back to the Earth of my origin. And found this on Yahoo Finance. Maybe it's from some other source. So the headline reads, Mark Cuban says, "Don't apply for a job with me without this valuable asset. Why it matters to employers." All right. How about don't apply for any job? I'm not going to apply for a job with you, Marky Mark. Cuban Mark. Don't worry. I'm not going to apply for a job with you. I mean, granted, I'm not even in the same galaxy as you at the moment. Hopefully, we'll fix that in the next. It's going to take me. Even if I had all the parts and materials, it'd take me at least a week. It would take me at least a week to fix the hyperspatial quantum entanglement engine. And even if I get that done, the navigation, that's its own problem right there. And so, yeah, it could be decades before I get back. Hence the realistic futurology. But look, I'm not. I don't have. I don't have. The asset that you value, Mr. Pharaoh. I'm just so heartbroken. Don't apply for a job with me, says the Pharaoh. Says a Pharaoh. Shouldn't say the Pharaoh. That was Mark Cuban. These people at this level of wealth, ubiquitous. They're rather common now. A dozen thousand years after the start of holy war agriculture. A dozen thousand years after the start of civilized culture. Your culture. The worst culture on planet Earth. And by your culture, I mean yours. All 8 billion of you. The second person possessive there, even just the straight second person pronoun. Yeah, I'm referring to 8 billion, east and west. Everyone in the stampede. So I shouldn't say the Pharaoh. This is a Pharaoh. One of the neo-pharaohs. There's a million of them now. You got a million. So I might as well call them neo-pharaohs because it's a whole new age. Yeah, they're semi-gods in your culture. Although, to be fair, you civilized folk, you all consider yourself to be like gods. Right? You're the superior species. The whole planet was made for you. Not just the whole planet. I mean, that's how it started off, right? Those was your beliefs. Figured the whole planet was made for you. And then you were made to be just like the gods. And then the gods gave you this job to conquer the world. No, the whole planet was made for. And now, come to find out, oh, I guess Jupiter was made for you. Thanks, Galileo. Jupiter was made for y'all, right? The gods did that. It's all made for you. It's yours. The sun, of course, and the galaxy. Well, thanks, Hubble. I guess we're talking more than one galaxy. All the galaxies. Not billions, not trillions or quadrillions. We're talking quintillions of galaxies. All made for you. That's in your English. Our forest, our planet, our oceans, our galaxy. You think it's yours. You need neo-pharaohs because building pyramids sucks. So Mark Cuban says, don't apply for a job with me without this valuable. Ooh, God! I better figure out what one of the neo-pharaohs wants from me. Hopefully I can just slave away the rest of my life building pyramids. And that's what your culture compels people to do. Compels people to think and do. Don't apply for a job. Don't worry, Betty. Pretty soon nobody will be applying. Few decades. Not going to be jobs. There won't be CVs. There won't be people, strategizing. What do you say in a job interview, so that you can drag stones? It's coming to an end. Coming to an end. So, Cuban. Yeah, and here's like one of the things in the article. So let me scroll down. That's one thing Doomsy's good at, right? Is scrolling. So I'll just scroll down. Here's the thing. Other experts. Well, maybe this wasn't. Later in the article, other experts weigh in on top job secrets. I'll put this on the screen for those getting the video channel of this podcast. In an interview with CNBC Make It, career coach Patrice Lindo, CEO of blah, 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 also said that an employee should not tell their boss they don't know the answer to a question or the solution to a problem. You believe that? Of course, it's okay not to know everything, especially in a new role, the article goes on to say. But depending on the context, you don't want to say, I don't know, and leave it at that. Lindo told CNBC Make It that the phrase, I don't know, can indicate you don't have initiative or willingness to learn. It's so stupid. So stupid. Look, what's easier? What's easier in life? To make enough, produce just what you need, or produce surplus, produce like way more than you need. You're burning calories either way. You're going to produce something. Get to the energy expenditure. Now you can stop when you've produced enough of something you need, or you can keep going. So what do you think is easier? Well, obviously enough, right? That's it, just enough. But y'all don't do that. You all are, and I'm just getting into this concept right now of a job and work. You guys work harder. I mean, civilized culture, holy war, agriculture, farming, pyramid building. Your culture is the most difficult way for a human being to get through life on planet Earth. It just is. It just is. Oh, I shouldn't say I don't know. Say I don't know might mean the pharaoh, the boss might think that I don't know means the same thing as I don't like working. Oh, God. Don't want to confess to that. I just love working. Got to make them think I love dragging stones for their pyramids. You know, and what difference does it make? Whose pyramid? Anyway, Doomsy. Like, you know, you start building your own little pyramid. You're still not, you know, I mean, you still got a job. You hired yourself, right? Self-employed. You're your own employer. But you're, you know, still running in the rat race. You're still caught in the stampede. Just like the neo-pharaohs. They're in the stampede too. They're caught up in it. They buy into the same mythology that billions do. Of course, they're very comfortable buying into this mythology. So, Cuban. Don't apply for a job. How about let's not, how about this? How about nobody applies for a job for the next 300,000 years? How about that? How about that? What do you think of that solution there, Mr. Neo-Pharaoh? Or any of you Neo-Pharaohs? What do you think they would think of that? I mean, look, don't apply for a job. He just assumes, yeah, people want. What if it was the opposite? People not trying to get better jobs because people aren't trying to get jobs at all. So, don't apply for a job with me. How about let's not apply for a job at all? For 300,000 years, nobody had jobs. For 300,000 years. And then farming came along. 300,000 years, nobody ever feared losing a job. That was never a fear. Yours is the culture of maximum fear. Yours is the culture of maximum misogyny, maximum fear. Yours is the culture of maximum child abuse. Civilized culture is the cause of all excessive suffering on planet Earth. Just fact. And here's the crazy thing. Y'all are working to make that so. You're working for that. You work to make the culture of maximum suffering happen. Now you might think, okay, let's say Doomsy. Okay, that's how about nobody applies for a job for 300 minutes, right? Wouldn't that throw off employers all around the globe if for 5 hours people weren't showing up for job interviews or filing applications? How about 300 hours? what was that, 15 days or something? A couple weeks. 300 hours. How about 300 weeks? Just skip right over 300 days. Nobody applies for a job for a year. How about 300,000 years? Because really, y'all can have that future. It's totally possible. For 300,000 years before pharaohs, people didn't have jobs. Doomsy, how can you say that? What? You're so wrong. I mean, how are people going to eat? What are they going to do? Look, I'm not saying that people wouldn't burn energy. You got to burn some calories to get some calories. But that's not work. I'm not talking about, W equals force times distance. We're not going the physics definition here. We're going the social definition. Work. Nobody did it. Not in the way we think of work. They took our jobs. It's not happening. It wasn't happening for 300,000 years. So, why not? Why not go, after this stretch? And granted, there are some peoples, very few, it's less than 0.01%, 0.001%, are some peoples who their ancestors, they're not working, they don't have jobs, and none of their ancestors did. They're hard to find, those people, because history shows that farmers have introduced themselves using genocide and slavery all around Earth. Wherever Holy War agriculturalists have gone, that has been their calling card, modus operandi. So, it's ridiculous. What? Why are you working? Look, Doomsy's not saying that there's some solution within civilized culture. Not. Communism, capitalism, socialism, whatever kind of ism you want for your economic system in civilized culture, you get the socioeconomic hierarchy with pharaohs on the top. You get kings, you have royalty. And often they become tyrannical, right? Tyrant. Look, the only way to not suffer under tyrannical king, the only way to guarantee that doesn't happen ever, is to not have kings. And that's the direction you're going. Because why keep this up? Here's the headline. I guess this was from yesterday. From The Hill. Found here on Yahoo News. Here's the headline. Bottled water contains hundreds of thousands of potentially dangerous plastic fragments. Nice, right? Here's a quote from one of the co-authors. We know microplastics are always in the environment. Yeah, congratulations. The survey of recent research, the article goes on to say, found that tiny plastics can interfere with the chemistry of the human body, causing impacts both on and from the communities of microbes in our gut that help us digest food. So, what do you expect? Why you're doing this? This isn't something that's happening to you. Y'all are doing it. You're making it happen. How many bottles of water? Doomsy's old enough to remember when most of the water he drank in any given month or even year, most of the water he drank was not in a plastic bottle or any kind of bottle. Now, and so why? Why? Obviously, when there was 4 billion of y'all, you didn't need so much bottled water, right? Wait, I guess what I'm saying is the math here, right? There's 8 billion of you now, soon to be 9 billion, because you continually labor intensively to increase the production of food surpluses, which then fuel your population growth. But let's not forecast at the moment. There's 8 billion of you. Okay? Do you think that 8 billion, I don't know what the figures are, some just astronomically high number of bottles of water you're consuming? Whatever that number is. So you think it was half when there was 4 billion of you? I'm going to get my ship here, because I don't know I want to get off this planet. Had a nice view there for a little bit, but oh great. Oh, I got my ship stuck. Oh, this looks like Doomsy's not going anywhere for a while. Yeah, I'm definitely stuck. So you think X amount of water bottles you're consuming now, you think it was half that when you were 4 billion? Not even. So what's with all the water bottles, huh? What's that for? It's because you don't care. It's because you think the world is yours. You think you're gods. You think you're just like the gods, and you think the gods made the world for you to. Look at this, or listen to this. Body burden, depletion in newborns. Yeah, Doomsy's showing you this because of the microplastics, and look, there's report. Forever chemicals in northeast Tennessee pose long-term risk to region's drinking water. There's another headline. Forever chemicals, called PFAS, show up in your food, clothes, and home. You got this stuff everywhere. And look, this is from 2005, so let's go back a couple decades. And I encourage you, check this out. I'm not going to I'm not going to go too much into this article, but body burden, the pollution in newborns. The pollution in newborns. So as babies were being born, what they did was they took blood samples from the umbilical cord, find out what's in these babies. A random sampling. And they found just all these chemicals, all this stuff. 10 umbilical cord blood samples were conducted. Let's see, they found hundreds, including organochlorine pesticides. Ooh, this is challenge here. Polychlorinated biphenyls, perfluorinated chemicals, mercury. So, you can shop in the organic section of the supermarket, but you're still born with toxic blood, and that's your culture. Humans aren't doing that. That's your culture did that. Your culture did. Humans aren't to blame, and that's the good news here. Let me just remind you, yours is a culture of maximum violence. Violence rocks Ecuador after drug lord's disappearance from jail. That's from the Financial Times. A wave of kidnappings and bombings follow new president's declaration of state of emergency. Oh my goodness, this is never going to get my ship free. I'm in big trouble. I'm not going to get out of here. I'm stuck. Culture of maximum violence. Parents of Iowa teen who killed 1 and wounded 7 in shooting say they had no inkling of his plan. It's from the Associated Press. Parents of Iowa teen who killed 1. Oh, parents of a mass shooter, a teenager, had no inkling of his plan. So, Doomsy is going to point out that for 300,000 years, parents around the world, parents never had to go, is my teenager planning on killing a bunch of us? They didn't have to do that. That's the good news. All right, I got to do something about this ship. If you got questions or comments, www.doomsymcdoomscroller.com.